Record. Welcome to the Institute of Jewish Knowledge and Learning. We are with Rabbi Akiva Mann. The program is a post Days of Awesomeness wrap up and look into what's yet to come. Take it away, Rabbi.
Okay, thank you, Kim, and Shalom Aleichem, by the way, Kim. Welcome back. Wow, friends, I'm still a little bit in the davening mode. Aren't you all? So I'd like to start with a little song that I haven't sung for I don't know how long. You all know the words. I think we'll see during the teaching tonight. Keep the song in mind. It's the great words of probably one of the most central Talmudic and Mishnaic sages who really revolutionized Jewish thought through and which has lasted. His revolutionary thoughts have lasted today and has not only changed Jewish ways of thinking, but also is quite his ideas have invaded Western culture, and the more influence the ancient Talmudic sage Hillel, the more of his teachings that can be spread throughout the Western world, throughout the world in general, the better. And one of his main teachings really is a summary of what we ought to have extracted from the Yamim Noraim, the days of awesomeness, and that is that little line in Pirkei Avot that says, "Im ein ani li mili." Really ponder this. Im ein ani li mili. If I am not going to be for myself, mili, who's going to do it for me? Only we can do what we can do. But in order not to run away with ourselves and become horrible, self-absorbed people, only thinking about me, Hillel has a qualification. Uchesha'ani la'atzmi, but if I am only for myself, exclusively, mo'ani, then what am I? What have I become if my focus is only on me? There are others. I am surrounded by others. My life is dependent on others. So it's that beautiful balance between being a humble humble and sincere individual who realizes the gift of life that has been given to us, and then a balancing act of how to take care of one's self, one's needs, one's dreams, one's visions, whilst simultaneously interacting and intercoursing with others, that we don't run away with ourselves. So this is the song, Chavra. Menani mili Shiani le'atzmi mo'ani ve'im lo achshav eimata ve'im lo achshav eimata Eimata, ve'im lo achshav eimata, im einani limili ושאני לעצמי מעני ואם לא עכשיו אימתה ואם לא עכשיו אימתה Eimata, ve'im lo achshav eimata. Da 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 da. Da 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 la 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 da 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 la 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 da 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 la 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 da da la 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 da 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 la 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 da 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 la 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 da da la da da la 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 Einani limili She'ani le'atzmi ma'ani ve'im lo achshav eimata ve'im lo achshav eimata 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 ve'im lo achshav eimata Okay, Chevra, I wanted to do a little wrap up of on a fairly high level of Yontif, and uh, when we look back at the last month and a half, I can say of all of us that have been coming on a regular basis to classes since Rosh Chodesh Elul. I think I can speak for all of us when I say we have come a long way, baby. From the first of Elul, we really began a very long psycho-spiritual journey. That's what it was. That's what we began on Rosh Chodesh Elul. And we traveled through Rosh Hashanah and Aseret Yemei Tshuva, the 10 days leading up to Yom Kippur, and then Yom Kippur, and then we culminated with the festival of Sukkot. And what a trip it was. What a trip it was. It's a testament to the genius of Torah and the genius of Jewish spiritual and academic legacy. That we experientially went through a month and a half of psycho-spiritual transformation and transition. What we gleaned in retrospect, what we gleaned what was a new sense of direction, what we gained through this journey, what was, I hope, new pathways into the inner self. And I hope and I trust that along the way there were some, as Maimonides says in the Guide for the Perplexed, along the way there we experienced some lightning bolts that woke us up to certain realities that before this journey might have been quite hidden and concealed from our awareness. And all of the above are meant to support us in what is going to be the upcoming year, and that we enter the upcoming year and our own personal futures with a bissel more enlightenment, with a little bit more clarity and a little bit more purity of heart, so we can continue throughout the weeks and months of the next year more elevated than we were before. So in this overview of the Chagim, I want all of us to look in retrospect, and I want all of us to be very much aware of the two-pronged highway, the two-lane highway that we were traveling over. Friends, in Jewish tradition, by the way, these insights are coming from a combination of sources. One of them being the Nativot Shalom, who was a great Rebbe in Israel, who passed away a few years ago, but his Torah remains alive and well. Some of the same insights are coming from Jonathan Sachs, and some of them from the Maharal Prague. And they basically are all saying the same thing that I would like us to be very much aware of. In Jewish tradition, they say, there are actually two cycles of time. The first cycle of time is the three pilgrimage festivals. So put your calendar mode on. The first cycle of time that we cycle over during our lives revolve around Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot. And these three festivals, which always represent three different spiritual energies, these are all particularly Jewish. Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot are all particularly Jewish because they all tell the story, they all tell our story of our own origins, of our own identities. Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot are our roots story. And they're very deeply embedded in our memory banks, in our DNA, and we refresh ourselves each year through celebrating these festivals, and we tickle the roots in us, the DNA, the memory faculties within ourselves, and we gain identity by celebrating in a deep way. Of course, if it's celebrated on a casual surface level, it hardly matters. But when celebrated in a deep psycho-spiritual manner, that conjures up a whole bunch of beautiful, good stuff. These festivals are the rock, so to speak, from where we were hewn. So these chagim, these festivals, are very particularistic to the Jewish people, to us as Jews. Then, friends, there is a second cycle. And that is the cycle of the 7th month. The month of Tishrei is a completely different cycle. That cycle consists of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot. And just like the seventh day of the week, Shabbos, just like the seventh day of the week is epitomized as Zecher Litziat, Zecher Lemaaseh Bereshit in Shabbat is a memorial, is a remembrance of the day of creation. So the seventh month cycle is also Rosh Hashanah is a birthday of the world. Just like the seventh day of the week is in memorial to creation, Rosh Hashanah is the memorial day, Yom HaZikaron, for the birthday of the world. Its essence, Rosh Hashanah, is universal. It's not particularistic. It is universal. It speaks of universal accountability to divinity, to its creator. We say in some of the tefillot, Kivakarat roe edro, that all of humankind, we speak of on Yom Kippur, all of humankind are the good shepherd's sheep. We are not talking about Jews any longer. We are talking about humanity. The language of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is universal. It is not particular to Jews. The most crucial sentence in all of the Amidas of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is V'yeda kol pa'ul ki ata pe'alto, v'yavin kol yitzur ki ata yitzarto. Let all that have been created know that you are the source. Let all that has been formed, anything in this world that has been formed, anything that can be called a reality, let those things, let those people understand ki ata yitzarto, that you are source of it all. Friends, we reflect on the human, the universal, on this second cycle of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot. We reflect on all of humanity. We include all of humanity, not the Jewish, not the ethnic, not the Jewish part of it. On Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we become universal. So we find ourselves clearly in two cycles. One, the Jewish festivals, and then the second cycle is the universal fest, the Jewish universal festivals. And friends, these two cycles reflect two quite different aspects or manifestations of divinity itself. that divinity itself includes the universal, must include the universal, and must encompass also the particular. We sometimes make that mistake. We think that divinity and Ein Sof is only universal. Young people think that. It's only universal, and the more particular we get, that can't be divinity, that can't be God. The answer is no, you're wrong. Divinity includes particularism and universalism. In fact, everything, friends, in life revolves around these two ideas, particularity and universality. If you talk about the human being, we have me, myself, and I. That's very particular. Me, myself, and I. But then we also have, our inner circle. We have our family. We have our community. We have our world, which is universal. We function on that level. Our state of being and our state of consciousness is a juggling act between the particular and the universal. And that's why I began with Hillel's great statement. Because Hillel's great statement is pointing to the idea of universality and particularism. Im ein ani li mi li, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? That is extremely particular. Oh, however, uchesha'ani la'atzmi, but if I'm only for myself, if I'm exclusively particular without including a universal consciousness, without thinking about other, without including my neighbor, my community, then mo'ani, then what am I doing in this world? This conjures up the idea in my mind that we have learned and we have discussed many a time. This is the idea of Rav Kook's famous essay called The Fourfold Song, where he says, we all sing 4 tunes, 4 songs. The first song is a song of self, then the song of family, then the song of community, then the song of nationhood, and then the song of the ganze Welt, then the universal. We start with the epicenter, which is self, and then we spread. Then we spread. And we are guided and instructed that we must sing all of these 4 songs. And you know what? As we sing these 4 songs, so does divinity. So does divinity acknowledge and sings the fourfold song with us. The particular song, the spreading song, then the universal song, whatever song we are singing, divinity is chiming in like a choir. And friends, this brings us to the uniqueness of Sukkot. If you notice in the 2 cycles that I mentioned, Sukkot is in both. Sukkot is in the particular, in the historical cycle, and Sukkot is also at the end of the universal cycle. It's the only Chag, it's the only festival that is part of both cycles, particular and universal. It belongs, Sukkot belongs to Jewish history, to Jewish origins, but also is included in the 7th month cycle of universality and the cycle of creation and nature. And there's a tremendously impactful message going on here. And that is that in our lives, and maybe this is the takeaway of all of the Yontif, and that's why the 7th cycle includes and culminates with Sukkot, because it is teaching us, it is messaging us that it is the blending and the balancing act of these two cycles which gives credence to the two ways that we relate to divinity and how we see divinity relating to us. That is the great message of that Judaism has to offer us, is juggling the particular, the egotistical, the self-serving part of our psyches together with the universal and sharing of ourselves with the world, within the world of creation and within the world of nature. And that is particularly why all of the great thinkers of Judaism, that's why they interpret Sukkot. Sukkot is also the only festival that the Torah says of it, Vehayita ach sameach. And all the rest of the festivals, there is a directive, a guidance that we should be happy, we should be joyous on these festivals, joyous in our awarenesses, in the new renewed consciences that we have acquired. On Sukkot, because Sukkot is this beautiful blend, this beautiful melding of particular and universal and particular, that is when the Torah says, Vahayita, on this holiday, on this festival, be ach sameach, be exceedingly joyous. When this blend takes place, and we can see ourselves as citizens of the world while still capturing our uniqueness as Jews, being very particular and connecting with a Jewish tradition that is not a contradiction to universality, but rather an enhancement of universality. From particular comes universal. From universal comes an enhancement and elevation of particularism. Then we are taka in a state of ach sameach, exceedingly joyous. So friends, let's go into the new year with this in mind, with this great we sometimes wonder, are we taking care of ourselves enough? How about others? How about family? How about the world? What am I doing about the world? How can I think about myself if I'm thinking about the world? And if I think about the world and invest all my energies on the outside, there is a deep threat that one's own self is going to be compromised. Friends, let us carry this idea of ach sameach, both particularism and universality can exist b'makom echad, in one person, in one situation. Let us find that balance. Let us enhance that idea. And in that way, we will see a much brighter future for ourselves and our neighbors, our nation, and the ganze Welt. So that's that. I hope that was a pleasant wrap up. Friends, I have something to announce to you tonight that very much has to do with what I was speaking about particularity and universality. And I have to announce to you with great joy and great pleasure that my eldest granddaughter, Ella, who lives in Israel with my son and my daughter-in-law Dana, is having her bat mitzvah on November 6th. And I am going to that bat mitzvah, and I have decided to not only visit her for her bat mitzvah, but I have decided to extend my visit for her bat mitzvah for a sabbatical that is probably going to end up to turn into an aliyah to Israel. So first of all, wish me well on that journey. There is a qualification that I'd like to add.
Mazel tov.
There's a qualification that I have been wanting. Leah and I have been dreaming and envisioning of making Aliyah, somehow ending up our lives in Israel. It was like kind of a theological, philosophical, spiritual, mystical coming full circle. That was always our envisionment. Unfortunately, we did not implement Imlo Achshav Ematai, if not now, when? If not now, when? And Leah passed away and transitioned to a different realm before that dream was fulfilled. But it is the Imlo Achshav Ematai, if not now, when, of Hillel saying that deeply was echoing in my brain, in my heart, and in my soul, and asking me to respond. Akiva, if not now, then when? Then, you know, like really, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? So it was the opportunity of the bat mitzvah that brought me to an awareness that I better do it now, because I will have no excuse whatsoever, no justifiable excuse, if I do not afford myself this this dream to be with my people, to be very particular, and to be with my people, and to experience a miracle that has taken over 2,500 years to manifest itself in our generation, the miracle of the returning to the sovereign state of Israel after 3,000 years. I want to be part of that. I want to smell the air of that. I want a surround sound. I want to be enmeshed. I want to swim in the deep end of that experience. And it's very difficult to put into words, but it's very difficult for me to do that on an experiential, mystical level from the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. I want to smell Israel. I want to touch Israel. I want to be in the deep, deep end with my brothers and sisters that have been privileged to realize what I consider a 20th and 21st century revelation from above. No different, or at least on the same level as Sinai, as the original exodus from Egypt into the promised land. No different. We just take it for granted because it's happening. It's happening too close to us. I see it as being part of a miracle. That is not to say that the miracle that you guys are to me, the miracle that is IJKL, the miracle that is Kim Lerner, the miracle that is the assembly of students and some of the most sincere seekers and searchers of soulfulness. That means you guys. That does not mean that any of our contact, any of our relationship, any of my teachings, any of my classes are going to be compromised. For the last year and a half, we have been near 99.9% doing our Torah stuff and our psycho-spiritual adventures together through Zoom, through the computer, through electronics. And I hope, and I trust, and I guarantee you that all of that will continue, except you'll have a Rebbe that is going to be in the aura of the Holy Land. And maybe my Torah will go up a few notches more elevated in in depth, in holiness, in resonating with you guys. Maybe the Avira of Israel will come through the Zoom contacts. I hope that is going to be true. But certainly in practical terms, I just need a little time to settle into what is going to be, I think, a fairly strange land at the beginning. Talk to anyone in Israel. It's a very friendly place, and there's a lot I know and resonate with. But friends, Israel and Israelis, they tell me it takes some getting used to. So I'm going to need a few weeks to acclimatize myself, and then I will be back on the calendar. Certainly by Hanukkah time. And then we resume what we are doing, and you'll have a place when you come to Israel where you can crash my pad, and I'll treat you to a Turkish coffee. Okay, Kim, that was my purpose tonight. A little particularism, a little universality, and a little bit about my particular situation and the whys behind it.
And I know that there's
I'm open for any any schmoozing, any comments, any.
Okay. So I let's turn off the recording.